What's up, everybody? It's David Van Dyke, and this is my personal art channel that I rarely use, but I'm going to try to fix that and start uploading a little more often. And today we've got something awesome that is coming out tomorrow, today being Tuesday, so tomorrow will be Wednesday, which is Comic Book Day. And it's the new Vatican City book by Mark Millar and Per Berg. I've never heard of this artist, but as you'll see here in a second when we go into the actual book, um, he does all the art and lettering, which is kind of unique and it works. I mean, he's got a kind of simplistic style in a way, but he uses color a lot to kind of guide your eye and give effect. So he's got a cool style. I'm digging it. So, general premise of this book is that vampires have taken over the world, but the only place that they can't go is Vatican City because it's sacred ground. Um, and this issue kind of sets that up. Now, they haven't touched on, like, does that mean other, Catholic churches, considering they're supposed to be extensions of Vatican City, but there's a twist at the end of the book as well in the first issue that it kind of points us to why this is so important. So I would definitely recommend checking it out. But I'm going to show you a little bit of it first. Got the one sheet for Huck. That's going to be a great book. Raphael Albuquerque is amazing. Or Albuquerque. And this is one of those books that Mark Millar gets a lot of flack at times for going like, oh well, it's just Superman, but he changed the name, and that's not a bad thing. I think more people should do that. But this book is one of those Mark Millar joints that's just like, the dude's so genius. Like, why has no one thought to do this? And this is one of those books when he puts it out that I just kick myself for because, oh, it's such a good idea. It writes itself and no one thought to do it. So I'm going to show you a little bit of it. Again, I'm not going to go too far into it because that would defeat the point. Like, I get these to review and I'm going, giving you my review, but I'm going to show you the first couple pages just to kind of get your lips wet, a little soupçon, as they say. Give you a taste, and then you go grab this book and check it out. I would highly recommend it. It's a good, again, I'm not familiar with this artist, but as you can see, very simplistic style. He does all the art, including coloring and the lettering, and again, simplistic style, but gets the point across. This is a less is more type thing, and it really works. I dig the looseness of the line, and this would be considered an ugly line, I guess, but I love that type stuff. I'm not able to do it. I mean, I guess I could be a little sketchy or loose, but my tendency is to tighten everything up, and then I hate it because I've gone too tight or I didn't execute it with the precision that I wanted to. So I always admire guys like this. And as you can see, this is the opening of the book, and you're kind of seeing what's happening throughout the neighborhood. And this is just setting the stage. And then, the neighborhood falls, the state falls, the city falls, everything falls. The U.S. is gone by the end of the first day. Such a killer page. Just so good. I love this pose. I love the way that, what's there and what's going. There's enough detail to know what's going on, but still loose enough. Like, look how loose this is, but still enough. And that's the trick to comics. This keeps your speed up, allows you to hit deadlines, and lets the viewer's imagination kind of fill in the rest. And, the reader's imagination fill in the rest. And it's I admire this style. Like I said, I'm not familiar with Per Berg, but and I'm probably pronouncing that name wrong. So my apologies, no disrespect intended. But I'm definitely gonna get familiar because I'm loving this stuff. Um, yeah, quick video though, because again, I don't want to go too far. Maybe I'll show you one more page. What do you say? One more. And there we are, Vatican City. Very painterly, very impressionistic, painterly background, which makes sense because as you go away from the focus, you lose detail. So, still within the rules of art, and I say rules with quotes because there are no rules, yet there are. Yeah, you decide that. But again, very painterly style. Very impressionistic, and this is all it needs to be. The focus is here. This has been done beautifully. It's a watercolor type feel, and I'm gonna get familiar with this artist. I'm interested to see if this is done digitally. I almost feel like it has to be to some degree. Maybe the line work isn't, but looking at this type shape in the line, it feels like it's digital, but this effect here, and maybe it's a blend, maybe it's a hybrid method, maybe this was watercolored and then final colors and whatever top of it, and you put your effects in, the light gleam and everything. But I'm interested to know if it's all digital or not. I have a feeling it probably is, but it could be different. And if leave me a comment down below. Let me know. Let me know what if you know how this artist works. I would love. I'm a big fan of learning different artists' workflow and how they achieve what they do. So yeah, like I said, quick video this week. I just wanted to drop a little preview of Vatican City. I think it's a cool book. I think it's a genius premise for a book. So definitely you're gonna want to check this one out. And like I said, it comes out tomorrow, I believe. So make sure you're first person in the door. Buy 5 copies so you can give some to friends. Tell them to go buy 5 copies. Support your local comic shops. Support comic work in general. And you could, I know I'm going to get this comment of like, well, Mark Millar has, millions of dollars, blah, blah, he doesn't need the support. Okay, but, the artist and the team on the book don't. And you're supporting them. And Mark is also one of the biggest advocates for the industry. So if you support comics, you need to be supporting guys like that get millions of dollars and don't just take off to Hollywood and leave us behind. This dude's still one of the most prolific writers in the game. So, definitely support. Don't let that, the fact that he was able to turn this into a career to support himself is impressive enough, but the fact that he's taken it so far is even more impressive, and signing the deal with Netflix and everything. But Mark Millar didn't leave. Like, he's still firmly planted in the comic industry and in the comics world. He even does, his podcast, talking to different creators, which I'd love to talk to him one day. But we have to support those that support us. You see what I'm saying? So don't let that hold you back. Support this book. Buy, 50 copies. Buy as many as you can to support the team on the book. Pass this one around, man. It's a good book. It moves quick, as most of Mark's stuff does. It's a quick read, but there's a lot to look at. I mean, just looking at this, the title page, and even that is done well. And see, now this type page takes, and now I'm second guessing my digital, because this looks like the line work is done and inked and then maybe colored. I don't know. Again, I'm interested to find out. So if Per Berg, or however you pronounce the names, workflow, let me know. Check out this book, and there's going to be more next week. Thank you all very much for checking back in with me and for sticking around. We're going to have more stuff coming on this page. I own a company called Polyrhythm Music LLC, and we do a lot of content over there. And I've kind of neglected this page, but I'm starting to shift gears back into this more. So we're going to be doing a lot more of these. And if you have a book that you want me to review on here and help get the word out, let me know. Shoot me a message. I'm easy to find on social media at David Van Dyke everywhere. So, or David Van Dyke Art, one of the two. Shoot me a message. Let me know what you've got. Send me over some issues, and I will do just that. Thanks again for checking in. Check out Vatican City. Go grab it at your comic book shop, local comic shop tomorrow. Not even next. I was about to say next week. It's not next week. It's tomorrow. It's the next day. Thanks again, and I will see you all next week. Later.